Hi guys, it's Lori with Gizmo and Gadget, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I took my craft room from this horrific state and remade it into a room that was much more functional and organized and inspiring. The irony is that as I was recording this video, I had one of my favorite YouTubers on in the background do it on a dime, and she was actually remaking someone else's room, and listen to what she has to say.
Everything. We were taking everything out and putting it in the other room, and every time we picked something up, I would ask her, do you use this? Do you love this? Not, is it useful? Because all of the useful things, everything is useful, but keeping them all was making her room useless. It was so full of useful, beautiful, maybe even expensive things that she couldn't even use the space. And what she wanted more than anything wasn't, $1,400, $20 items.
Can I get an amen? Because everything that just came out of her was the truth and spoke to my spirit and soul. And that's part of why I love watching her channel. She just gives some really great advice and information, and she's totally inspiring. So if you don't already follow her, please follow her. Her channel is Do It on a Dime, and she posts pretty frequently. And she does a lot of really cool Dollar Tree purchases and hauls as well. So anyways, she really inspired me, and I needed to reorganize my room. So here you can see I am just taking it all apart piece by piece, and you never really know how much stuff you have until you have to take it out and find a home for it. So, and in all fairness, full disclosure, this room was a little extra messy because I just got back from a week-long trip with my mother, and before I left, I had to make a couple of things to take and deliver to some people, and then when I came back, I had some orders that I had to fulfill. And so I had to really just crank out some stuff, and I didn't have time to straighten up and organize before I started crafting. So it created an even bigger than normal mess. And I think it got to a point where I just didn't even feel creative anymore because there was just so much stuff everywhere. Another thing, you can see that we have this dining table, and this used to be our dining room. My husband's really awesome and let me take over the dining room, but this dining table kind of became my craft table over time, and it's nice, and it has a lot of surface area, and as you can see here, there's so much stuff that I can have around me, but I think it became so much unorganized stuff that it just wasn't really working for me. And then this YouTube channel is new to myself and my husband, and we were trying to figure out how to set up the camera and where to set it up and how to find a spot where it can permanently live, where I don't have to readjust everything in order to just create and record. And this was kind of part of the issue, was that this table was so big and there wasn't really much room for the tripod to live and the light to live. Or if it was on the table, it just took up more room and it was more clutter around me. It wasn't working. So one of the problems that I wanted to create a solution for was to have a setup where I could craft and create and have space on my table without having to have the lights and the cameras on the table as well. So if you guys have any recommendations for how to set up, please let me know. I'd love to hear what y'all do. Like I said, this is new to my husband and I, and we're kind of learning as we go. So right here, I'm showing you a couple of things that I made for my friend, her bachelorette party. I made a little, bachelorette survival kit. So I'm kind of showing you some of those things. Those were really fun, and if you want to know how to make a little survival kit, let me know. It was very inexpensive. I used some things from the Dollar Tree, and everyone got some really fun hair ties and things like that. So anyways, so yeah, I'm just organizing, finding a home for everything, and really looking at what I need and what I don't need. And guys, that Apple remote right there, that's the last time I saw it. I have no idea where it went. I need to take my room apart and go through every bin. I don't know if it fell in somewhere or if I put it in my desk. I don't know. I can't find it. It's MIA right now. So I've rewatched this video trying to see where I put it, and it's off camera, so that's sad. And this is such a therapeutic part for me. Even just rewatching it makes me feel so good to see it go from dirty and messy to clean. I have recently started making some Mickey ears with some really cool sequins material, and that stuff goes everywhere. So cleaning it off the table just brings me so much joy. And check this out, guys. Look at where my Sizzix die cutting machine is. It's no wonder I don't use it. It is hidden. I can't even access it. Sorry for the shaky camera. I actually was placing stuff on the table that I put in the hallway, so I think I kept hitting the camera. So I just continue to, trek through and take things out of my room. And here I'm starting to take out some of the things that I'm going to go through and get rid of. And I have my yearbooks, and I don't know about you guys, but I have a really hard time parting with them. These are scrapbooks, which I know I'm going to keep because I made them, but the yearbooks over there on the far right corner of that shelf, those are like my middle school and high school yearbooks, and I just can't say goodbye to them. I mean, I know they're in the sentimental category of KonMari, for those of you that follow the KonMari method of tidying up, but I don't know. Like, I spent a lot of money on them back even, when I was in high school. But they're good memories. I don't know. Do y'all go through your yearbooks? For those of you who have had your yearbooks for a while, do you still keep them? Do they serve a purpose? Should I keep them? I don't know. Let me know. And I'm vacuuming here because I want to move those shelves to the middle of the room. So I know that I want to have a clean carpet under those shelves. And just like cleaning the table was so fulfilling, I love vacuuming. I love seeing the carpet lines. I wish that my house had carpet lines all day, but that's just not the reality of my life. And I read somewhere once that a home with carpet lines means that there's no life in that room. So I'm happy to say that there's a lot of life in this room and a lot of life in my home. And even as much as I vacuum, you can't keep those carpet lines all the time. And I'm moving the tables to the center, or the shelves, I should say, to the center of the room because I wanted to recreate what another YouTuber had created in her sewing room, which was a sewing table. She used a hollowed core door from Lowe's and placed it on top of her shelves. And she had a little hack where you can use some shelf liners to actually prevent the corridor from moving, and she built a base for it as well that had wheels on it so she could move the table, and it also added extra height so she could stand and craft. And so I kind of wanted to do what she had done. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, and I didn't really at this point do the measurements to realize that the corridor was going to be too long. The shelves that I have are actually from Target. They're the Threshold Target 13-inch cube shelves. And they're shorter because my shelves only have 6 total shelves. It's the 3x2. Her shelves are from IKEA and they're 4x2. So she has a lot more surface area to play with the door. So I ended up not being able to do that, but it was still nice to move these shelves to the center. And do you like my pose there? That's my does this fit? Does this work here pose? I moved the TV to that corner, and just getting it in that corner made me question where I wanted to put the TV. So yeah, getting things out of the room just really helped to open up visually what could possibly take place in the room. So here I am just moving the shelves and kind of getting an idea of what it would look like and height-wise how it would work if it were in the center of my room. Ideally, I would love a space where someone else could craft with me, so that's what I was thinking as far as putting this in the center of the room. So I didn't record the entire transformation of the room because honestly this took about a week to complete. Here I'm just kind of playing with some different configurations, realizing that the tables that I have are either too short or too long to put over the shelves the way I wanted to. But I did get some other ideas for some future possibilities in my craft room. I kind of liked this setup. The only issue that I had with this was that I wouldn't have as much leg room as I would want as far as crafting, and you can see with the chair there, it just wouldn't work that well. So this was the final piece that I was really about to go and purchase just one more small 2x2 shelf to make it work, or to add to the legs to make it work, because I could fit that little stool under there. But here you can see the final configuration, and I was really happy with it. We ended up using a shelf that we had in another room, so that was very cost effective. And we also ended up going to IKEA and buying one longer table, this table in the center, which was only $30, maybe $40 with the legs. So that really created a great space where not only I could craft, but also my friends could craft with me. And this is the final room. It's still a work in progress because this shelf in the center I want to paint white, and I still need to buy some storage bins. But it gives me an idea of what I want to place where, and I feel like I have a home for everything. I know where everything lives. I'm able to display some of the things that I've made and that I love seeing and inspire me. And hashtag Gold Canyon Candles up there in the top. If you need some really good candles, Gold Canyon candles are great. I'll link that down below. But I'm able to store everything. I have my papers easily accessible and visible, and I still don't have a dedicated space for my canvases, but I don't do a whole lot of canvases, so they live there. But I was really happy that I could have an area where my scrapbooking stuff lived, and my planning and binders lived, and my printer, because I really needed an area that I could work and focus, and then also have an area where I could create. So for those of you who know me, I work full time, and I also just finished grad school. So I, really needed a dedicated space that was clear where I could work. So I really like this desk area because I can look outside and kind of, stay focused at least at the task at hand. I have my little grandma sweater there that I love. It always, keeps me warm, makes me wish for fall. And then I have my inspiration of what would Beyonce do, because, when you want to be a boss lady, you got to think, what would Beyonce do? So I just have everything that I need at my fingertips. I was really happy putting the pins over here to my right, because the way they were before, I had to turn around to get a pin every time I needed one. So I have my calendar that I can look at. I have, a planner obsession and calendar obsession. I'm very task oriented, so having that visible was really helpful. But I love that everything's accessible. Anything that I need to use at my desk is there, and then anything that I need to use to craft is also there as well. I have like my mailing stuff. It's still, work in progress. I know I'm going to continue to organize it and make it an even more efficient area. But as far as workspace, I absolutely love this workspace. I have a spot that's dedicated to my Cricut and my Easy Press, and all the lighting that I need, not only to craft, but also to record, and all of the accessories I need at my fingertips. I have a separate sewing area and extra stools where my friends can either, craft with me, or if I'm moving throughout the room, I can, sit in different chairs. So I also have multiple trash cans in multiple spots, because you never know when you need a trash can handy. So I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. It's really inspiring. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to see a detailed video of what I stored where and how I stored it. I'll be more than happy to share that with you. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.